So I just got done streaming one of my favorite childhood games, Fossil Fighters, and I do have to say it does stand the test of time. I had a really enjoyable time just walking around and seeing what new dinosaurs I can find, and so I'm gonna ramble about it for about 10 minutes. First, you get off the boat, and then you meet the Dr. Diggins.
Hang on a tick. Who the gooey ass? Also, I love this guy's fit.
A crazy man who's obsessed with dinosaurs and more obsessed with digging them up. Now, the gameplay in Fossil Fighters, it can be boiled down to a simple loop of you get a fossil, you bring it back, you clean it, and if it's a dinosaur part, you can revive the dinosaur if you have the head, and then all the other bones will power it up, giving it new abilities and tools and move, and giving it a lot of extra stats. My first dinosaur was this green T-Rex looking fella, along with this raptor that I chose at the beginning because it looked the coolest. And the first chapter of the game is a whole bunch of tutorials, so I'm gonna skip through a lot of that, except for a couple interesting parts. One of the first NPCs you meet is this girl Rosie. She is grandpa's rich little girl, and she basically follows you everywhere, and you have to do so much shit for this girl and the island. By the way, I just want to say, in terms of like time, I was on this island for exactly like 1 day. I think my entire playthrough was like 18 hours, and I saved them from anything from literal bandits taking over the island, a thief who stole someone's dinosaur medals, God. But Rosie is pretty okay. She's annoying. She's that average like video game girl character that's always like fawning over you type thing, which I do have to say, for a game at this time, you could straight up just tell her that you hate her. And then her response is, well, I'm gonna work really hard to make you change your mind. Sis, that is mental illness. Honey darling, you have Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know what kind of abusive relationship is going on here, but my character has not said a word the entire game. And my one sentence I get to fucking say to this woman is, yeah, nah, I fucking hate you, bitch. Like, I don't like you at all. But regardless, so basically, TLDR, a lot of shit happens. Firstly, you figure out that there's these BB guys, which are bandits, some kind of hooligans who are looking for these mystical idols that you happen to stumble upon, and you have to beat them with your dinosaurs. And speaking of dinosaurs, I went through 3 or 4 cycles of teams. I will talk about one of my teams that I used for a good chunk, and then the one I used for basically the rest of the game. My first team had the green T-Rex guy, green T. We had this colorful raptor fella. What's a good name? Lil fella. And then for a big chunk of it, we had this bird dude, this pterodactyl, Terratim. So we have green T, little fella, and Terratim as my first team, and they were pretty good. I used the Terratim, the pterodactyl. He has this long range ability that lets you, if he's in the support zone, he still does full damage when he's attacking something else. And the raptor was just a support. He buffs the main dude in the middle so that he can take less damage, have more accuracy, do more damage, yada, 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 yada. It's whatever. The one thing that I didn't like about this game, which they might change in future games, but specifically in this game, is it takes so long to get access to like moves that actually do something. A lot of the dinosaurs you will come across only do like, they have basic, oh, you pay this much FP, you get damage. And that's it. They don't do anything else. Sometimes you get like poison or something, you'll get excite or whatever. But like there's no like, until you get 3 or 4 fossils like on one dinosaur, which every dinosaur has 4, which is their legs, arms, body, and head. You don't get any access to any like special skills or cool like unique things you can use. Like a lot of dinosaurs come with like harden or speed up or whatever, and I feel like giving those ones a little bit earlier would let players play around in the safety of like new NPCs, to play around with the stat buffs and stuff, and it would be more diverse in the fight. Because to be fair, I think I only lost in the game 3 times. One was because I didn't know the rules and I went to a level up tournament, and for some reason in this tournament I have to play flawlessly. I can't lose a single dinosaur or I lose the whole tournament. However, my opponents can lose as many as they want. So yeah, I lost because I lost a dinosaur and it sucked and it was stupid. But that only happens in one of the level ups. So, I mean, it's not a huge deal. It was just annoying. The other 2 was just genuine, like either unluckiness or I genuinely just got stomped. Like, that's about it. A lot of the times it had to do with like the element typings. A lot of my creatures are wind based and their weakness is earth. So if I accidentally started a battle with all my wind creatures out in the front, I would have a huge hard time like killing any of the earth guys. But that only happened like twice. So still not bad for every single fight in the game, including the final boss, which I smashed. But before I talk about the final boss, let me talk about what's going on first in the story of the game. I talked about the bandit guys. The bandit guys suck ass. They're trying to collect these idols. You stop them at every single toll. You basically, the gameplay loop is you go to an area, you find out what's going on, you stop the bandits from getting an idol or collecting an idol or doing something usually bad. And then you go back to the island, you realize that the level up tournament is happening, and then you go to the level up tournament, you get the next rank, and because you're the next rank, you can go to a new island or a new section of the island to get more unique and cool fossils. So hijinks ensue. There you'll meet fucking Vivian, Rex, and Snivels. They're pretty cool Team Rockets, I guess. I like Rex the most. He's just a dog. He just does cool shit. I do say the writing in this game is pretty goofy, and I really, really appreciate that. There's one moment where Rex gets like a voice translator, and he talks like pretty like established for like a dog. He feels like an old Englishman. That happens. Eventually, you find out after beating the bandits a whole bunch of times that the police chief is actually the boss bandit, and you go and you defeat him. He gets locked away, and then literally like 10 minutes later, he takes over the whole city with a new type of dinosaur he found, which is like this ice age daddy long neck thing that is literally unbeatable until you go and find the lava T-Rex in the volcano so that you can beat his ice long neck. And that's not really like brought up again. It's just kind of like there. That happens, and then they both kind of like kill each other, both the dinosaurs, and then you can't use either of them ever. It's very, very strange. I don't know. It was like, I don't want to say it's out of nowhere, but it's definitely like this weird like B plot to what's actually going on. Because what's actually going on is there are these aliens that are looking for the idols. That's why the bandits are looking for them in the first place, is because they were paying them to look for the idols for them, so they didn't have to go to Earth and like walk around. These aliens are dinosaur people called Diorians, Denorians, Desaurians, dinosaur Orions. And the one you get to interact with the most is this cool raptor girl. She's basically that green-haired bitch from Code Geass type shit. But anyway, you come to find out that these Desaurians, or whatever they're called, are basically here only because they need the idols so that they can take them back to their ship. And then you get teleported back to their ship and you realize, oh, the reason they want these idols is so that they can power this big idol that they have. It's part of this like super AI computer or whatever. And that AI computer can basically revert all human life into single cell amoeba, effectively killing every single human on the planet. Because a long, long time ago, when dinosaurs used to roam the earth, they planted their seeds on the earth to like restart their race, because their race got eaten by a giant fucking space monster or space god technically. And so in order to restart their race, they found the nearest inhabitable planet, planted their seeds in it, and then went into stone freeze sleep or stasis to wait 9 million years in order to see their people evolved and then come back. Unfortunately, their people evolved into humans. So they're going to kill all of them and restart the program because obviously something went wrong. And then, plot twist, wrong. Their seeds didn't evolve into humans. They just died. Their seeds died nearly like a week after they planted them and went into stasis. So humans are just natural evolution. This makes the Desaurians not racist for some reason. Now, because they're not mad at humans being evolutionarily wrong, little racy in this fossil game. most of the Denarians are ready to help you fight God, because this little this spectacle man here accidentally flipped a switch that alerted Space God, this giant space tadpole man, to the Earth and consume it. And for some reason, this AI went on the fritz or whatever. And for some reason, because it couldn't carry out with its mission to like guide evolution, because their things died so early, it was just going to kill everything instead by having this thing come back and eat everything. Oh, by the way, the idols can talk, and they just didn't talk the whole time, because they're AI. So that's how you found out about all the stuff I just told you. Yeah. See, it sounds silly, but while you're like playing it, it's fun silly. You know what I'm saying? It's literally Team Rocket shit. And which is why I think one of the reasons I loved it so much as a kid. But anyway, after you do a whole bunch of stuff, including getting this pirate back his ribbon for his beard, go into a Aztec tribe called the Digadigs tribe, and shake your ass in a circle, going to a ravine to help a engineer repair his mine carts, and then saving one of the Denarians that you didn't know was a Denarian at the time from under a giant fucking rock. Eventually, you will get to fighting Space God. And I just have to say, honestly, the designs for the brains of this Space God are actually really cool. I like the way like they're like mask or like tribal mask shape. I really like them. I think even as a kid, I really liked them. I like the way they floated around and had different effects and stuff. However, once you go and kill Space God or whatever, and you save the day, you and either your choice of Rosie or this dinosaur velociraptor woman, which I chose the monster girl. Like, I can't, you know, it is what it is. I already told Rosie I hated her, so shit. Can't do much about that. But after that, she freezes you and her so that the explosion of Space God won't kill you. And then you go down to Earth. You are reawoken. She isn't. Plot twist. She's frozen forever. You go into a park and be like, oh my God, my GF, she's frozen forever, but they couldn't let that slide. So one of the Digadigs tribes people shakes that ass in a circle and revs her, and the day is saved. And that's basically the story. To talk about gameplay, now that that is all out of the way, here's the thing with the gameplay, is on the surface, all of the gameplay is really good. The combat, the unique like zones and typings and status effects, all really good. I do think there needs to be some dinosaur diversity, because a lot of the dinosaurs are literally either worse or better than others. And I know that's like gonna happen, obviously, like there is gonna be a meta to every single game. So that obviously like a Pokemon, a dinosaur in the first area is obviously gonna be probably weaker than a dinosaur in the last area you find it. But like a lot of dinosaurs, even at the later area, it's literally just they don't do anything but do damage. Like that's it. And I like, yeah, they have like stat buffs or whatever, but the stat buffs are really marginal because they are based off of what your monster's stat is that you're giving it to. It's only a percentage. So if you have a 10 defense monster and you're buffing his defense by 20 or whatever, like it's only 2 extra defense. It's not that big. Now, if you're buffing a monster that has like 30 defense by like 50 or 60 or 90, okay, now we're talking pretty big fucking increases in stat. But a lot of dinos don't have that. Their stats are marginal. I mean, they have some special effects, like long range monsters can attack from the special zone, like I said. But other than that, there's not a lot of variety in terms of like what is good, what's not. My team ended up being, at the very end, we had Green Tea in the middle. And I'll talk about him in a second, because he's the GOAT. And then we had this new Nessie-looking creature thing. This Nessie creature, it was long range too. And they were pretty goated, all things considered. And then we have this red raptor that is one of the rarest like monsters in the game. It's actually on the box art. That's how, I mean, good it is. It is one of the only, I think the only, I could be wrong though, Vivosaur in the game that can transform, and it transforms into the T-Rex you see on the box art. The downside is that it debuffs anything in the attack zone, so you want to move that to the attack zone. But that's whatever. It itself, the Raptor, gives who's ever in the attack zone 90% extra fucking attack, which with green tea in the middle, it's already crazy damage. Now, one thing before I go on to talking about green tea is that finding fossils themselves is pretty easy. You know, you can upgrade your scanners and stuff at the store. That's like, you know, par for the course for a game or whatever. And the upgrades for like the scanners and the storage is like pretty cheap. What I don't like is that in order for you to get arms and legs, which are like late game fossils finds or whatever, you need these like chip upgrades, and it does not tell you that that's what they're for. It just says that it will detect every fossil. What does every fossil mean? It's the one chip says it'll detect most fossils, and the other one says it'll detect all fossils. Okay. Having the evolution of your creatures tied to a 2,000 or a 25,000, a gold chip, is a little bonkers. I feel like you should be able to find all the fossils you want regardless, and then that should tie into like leveling them up, because they do level up from battle too. So I think a good system would be you let people find all the fossils they can. So if they want to max out a monster early, they can. It's just like farming up in like Pokemon or whatever, right? And then have all of the stats and stuff be exponentially increased by leveling through battle. Like, let's say if you have 2 pieces of a monster, right? You are getting like 2x XP. So when you're fighting in a battle, you're getting 2 XP, or maybe you're getting linear XP. So you're getting the same amount of XP, but the stats are getting buffed more because you're leveling 2 parts instead of 1 part. So if you have all 4 parts, you're getting the same amount of XP, but now you're leveling 4 parts, which is technically 4 times XP. You know what I'm saying? I just think finding fossils behind a chip you can buy is crazy. And I think the only reason I have a problem with that is because getting in money in this game, you don't get it through battle. You get it through either selling stuff, which all fossils are 100 gold, but the main thing is the jewel rocks. That is where you get your main money source. Jewel rocks have like pearls and diamonds and stuff that sell for like 2,000 gold. Every single jewel rock in the game has a battle attached to it. I'm not joking. I think I've only, maybe at the very beginning, there was like 1 or 2 jewel rocks I found that didn't have a battle attached to it. After that, every time you find a jewel rock, there will be a battle attached to it. I promise you, because god damn, these battles are nothing. They're not even difficult. They just waste your time. Like a lot, like even at like lava areas or later areas, they'll have like 2 dinosaurs, sometimes even 1, and they're deciding to challenge you, and you just have to sit there and like, there's no strategy. They're not gonna win. There's no like almost dying or something. You just beat the fuck out of them until they go away. That's literally it. Here's the thing we've all been waiting for, that I've been gassing up. So now in Pokemon, usually your starter Pokemon is going to be on your team until the end. All right. But you know, sometimes starters fall off. Sometimes you don't really like your starter and you find a Pokemon you like better, and your team can shift and change and whatever. When I tell you that green tea is literally a demon, and I don't know if it's just because I played with him for so long or if his base stats really are just this good, but green tea did not leave my party. He is literally a stat stick. He has 50s and everything. He has 480 health when I maxed him out, and that's when I maxed him out, because I only maxed him out at the end of the game when I thought it would be necessary to have like a 4-fossiled dinosaur. So I looked and I actually took time out of my day to go and get 4 fossils for all of my main team members. And before that, green tea only had 2 parts, and he was cooking everyone. He only had 2 parts, and he was decimating the landscape. He was hitting 100s, he was hitting 75s consistently, and I know like that doesn't really say anything, but for a bite, or maybe even just a combo move, 100, especially at the low levels, is amazing. And not even to mention, when I got all 4 pieces of him, it was like assembling a Zodiac. This guy was massive, massive. 480 fucking health. And he hits like a fucking freight train. Not to mention, I have this fucking flaming hot Cheeto Raptor buffing his attack to 90% extra attack on someone who's already a stat stick. And then, not to mention that the little fucking Nessie sea monster thing was decreasing the enemy's defense by 25, making it even worse. The final boss was cooked. I beat God with green tea easily. Absolutely, just instantly. Like, it was really no contest. The only thing I had to think about was that one of the masks is a healer. Kill the healer first, rest of the fight doesn't matter because they can't do anything. They don't do no damage. And I only really got to use the Flaming Hot Cheetos guy like transformation ability once or twice just to see what it does. I mean, it costs so much. So, I mean, you know, there's no really real reason to use it. But I mean, it's pretty cool, I guess. He did, like, you know, put in the work, and it's a full heal when you do transform. And that's basically all of Fossil Fighters. I do plan on streaming Fossil Fighters Champions, which is the next game in the series, because I do remember playing that one, but I remember that one a lot less. I don't even remember if I beat that game. The game is just really fun. Like, I cranked it out in 2 days, played it for like 18 hours, you know, it is what it is. The fact is like, the writing is silly, the monster designs are pretty cool, and fuck, man, I just like dinosaurs. Also, check out our merch. We have merch. If you have any merch ideas, put them in the comments. I might make them, please. I'm broke.